Hey, fellow Jedi, I'm Mike, and you're watching Force Within TV. And today I'm coming at you with a quick video about how I believe Sabine Wren is going to survive Star Wars Rebels Season 4. And the first scenario in which I think Sabine could possibly survive Star Wars Rebels Season 4 is pretty tragic. I think that, if Kanan, Ezra, Zeb, Callus, a lot of those individuals who are part of the Ghost crew, as well as some of Sabine's family, end up dying in season 4. Pretty bleak for a kid show, but you never know. I believe that she would go back and become a bounty hunter. We know that she's had that connection with the Black Sun in the past, so it would be interesting to see her do that. Perhaps at some point she comes back and rejoins a new animation series as that bounty hunter, or she can pop in and become part of that new family like Ahsoka did down the line. It would be very interesting too if we had some sort of like Romeo and Juliet situation between her and Ezra, where maybe she thinks Ezra dies and he actually doesn't, and they can sort of come back together in that new series. That would be pretty amazing too, right? So that's number one. Let's move on to number two, which is that Ezra and Sabine are actually going to get together. Now, I know in my Ezra video where I suggested that Ezra will be surviving, hopefully I have it linked right there for you. I suggested that him and Sabine, or maybe him and Kanan, could go on a grand adventure in the unknown regions with Thrawn or by themselves, sent by Yoda, and end up finding Snoke. And I think that's a very interesting premise. But I think another possibility is that after, Kanan, if Kanan dies, which I think there's a 99% chance he will in season 4, if Zeb and Callus and several of Sabine and Ezra's friends, pass away or are killed in Star Wars Rebels Season 4, then I think it makes sense that Ezra and Sabine step back and try and find a backwater planet in the Outer Rim where they just settle down and try and raise a family, and they don't want to be part of that conflict anymore. Again, they could be brought back into the action during another animation series after the original trilogy. Which would be very interesting. Maybe the Empire does eventually come to their, backwater planet, or they need to get involved because the First Order is threatening resources on their planet, or something to that effect. So number 3 is actually Sabine ruling over Mandalore, and I mean this could be one of our new animation series, right? Where we follow Sabine in her struggle to hold power, not only over Mandalore, but against the Empire. I have a very strong feeling that we're going to see something in the sequel era, but this, is right in Dave Filoni's wheelhouse, loves the Mandalorians, and, continuing on another series with a character that we know and love makes a lot of sense as well, right? So, the other thing that sort of points me in this direction is if you look at that Star Wars Rebels Season 4 trailer, we do see at one point Bo-Katan is like, she's actually fighting Sabine. And what if, at one point here, Bo-Katan, Sabine just realizes that this isn't the person, even though she ends up putting her in power. Sabine realizes that this isn't the person I want to rule over Mandalore. In season 3, she does say that she isn't going to be the one to rule over Mandalore, but she's going to find the person to do that. So it would be interesting if the person she thinks Bo-Katan is going to take over, for some reason it doesn't work out. Sabine doesn't like the situation, and she ends up trying to wrestle that power away from Bo-Katan and becoming the ruler of Mandalore. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Very interested. Is Sabine going to survive? Will she die? I think this is one of the cases where I'm actually going to do a video on specifically some ways that I believe Sabine could die. I'm kind of 50-50. I mean, we saw the trailer. She looks pretty injured. So, look out for that as well. And if you haven't already, please check out my channel, Force Within TV, where I have several, playlists dedicated to a new animation series, as well as Star Wars Rebels news and several others. So head on over to the channel. If you like what you see, please subscribe. Awesome, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in again. May the Force be with you always. Please consider subscribing, checking out my Jedi Train Like a Jedi series. Maybe check out a recent video. Or down in the video description, you will find several links to my website, including a table of contents of all the Train Like a Jedi series.